Hey, what's up? I'm Adam if you're new here, and if you're returning then you know what's good. Today I want to share some of the things to consider and active steps to take before diving straight into pursuing multiple streams of income. By taking a moment to consider these things, you can really start to build streams of income that actually work with you versus just generic streams of income, ones that work with your goals, your strengths, and what you're trying to achieve in the long term. One of the best decisions I ever made last year was to start pursuing multiple streams of income. It completely changed my life, ultimately my finances, and the level of freedom I felt I had and control over my own money. So the first thing to consider is why you actually want to pursue multiple streams of income. Now that may seem kind of crazy or meta, but we're bombarded with so many buzzwords, keywords, themes, that it can be hard to sometimes decipher whether we're pursuing things because we want to, or because society is telling us we want to, or because that just seems like the trendy thing to do right now. This is really important because pursuing multiple streams of income isn't necessarily the easier option, especially up front when compared to a 9 to 5. There's no clock off. The more you put in, the more you get, but the less you put in, the less you get. They can be far less secure than a 9 to 5 at times, but they can yield great results long term. And so knowing why you want to pursue it will really help when times get tough. Ultimately, it's freedom that most of us are aiming for, the freedom to pursue the life that we want, free from constraint. I had this quote once and it always has stuck with me, is that most of us are not seeking power over things, but freedom from things. For example, freedom from the constraints of fear. And if that's what's leading your pursuit of multiple streams of income, then it may look like a series of income streams that are robust, right? That are not too dependent on each other, so that if things go wrong in the world, you know that I don't have to worry about my next meal because this stream of income is going to be, because I know I have this one or this one, right? And that feeling of security helps you lead a more freer life. It may be freedom from the constraint of time, right? Like perhaps you want more time to be with the people you love, to do the things you love, explore the world, right? And therefore your pursuit of multiple streams of income may be more passive focused, right? You're looking for ways to generate income passively, whether it's investments, whether it's e-products, and that will impact how you pursue this. Another example could be freedom from geographical space. Maybe you just want the freedom to do whatever you want, move wherever you want, and explore whenever. And therefore you're looking for streams of income that are not going to tie you down, right? They're not going to mean that you can't just get up tomorrow and take a flight to Cambodia or wherever, right? And so ultimately it is freedom that is the underlying or the thread between all of these, but getting to the nitty-gritty can help really flesh that out for you. The second thing to do is to consider the skills, information, knowledge, or interest that you already have that may be useful to others or that others may want to share in. It's funny because so many of us don't realize that we're already harboring so much information and so many skills and talents that others would love to be a part of, right? Whether that be watching you, whether it be buying something that you write, like an ebook, or whether it be seeing you on social media, buying your artwork, whatever it is. A lot of us are already sitting on gems. And so taking the time out to just get into a space where it's just you and note all the things down that you are skillful at, that you have experience in, and that you're interested in. The interested in bit is really important because you may not be an expert at something right now, but it may be something that you want to pursue and you want to take people along with that journey, and you would like to produce something that would be helpful to others, that would form a stream of income, like trading, for example. A key thing I try to do is not anticipate what I think people want. This is about getting to know you and what you have to potentially offer and what you would enjoy offering others. So don't worry too much about how many people am I going to get at this point. It's just about noting down the things that interest you, that you have skills in, that you may want to share. The third thing to do is consider the ways you can research and collect information surrounding your potential stream of income or streams of income. In some cases, trial and error will be your best friend, especially when doing things like social media. And if you're trying to build that as a stream of income, like Instagram, right? You may do research and get to know things and what's out there and trends, but ultimately you won't know really until you put it out there how people are going to respond. And you can use that information as feedback to help grow and get better. But as I alluded to, research is still a fundamental fundamental thing to do. And it's especially important if you're going to encourage people or ask people to hand over their money in exchange for a product or a service, right? It's important that you understand what people want from you and what they expect. And again, this is something that may be developed over time. If you already have an audience, people are quite vocal. They often explain what they want, especially if they feel like they have a connection with you. And of course, if you are looking at more passive forms of income, such as investing or like real estate and things like that, then there is a lot of due diligence to be done, especially if you're going to be fronting a lot of money or money at all. So there are different types of research paths to go down and ways to collect information, and really all of them will likely be used to get to the end goal or to help you along the journey of multiple streams of income. Also remember that you can draw on people's experiences. People have been out there documenting their journeys for years, and we have things like YouTube, we have blogs. So don't be afraid to dip into those to get more insight and more information. The next thing to consider is the synergy between your streams of income. I'll take perhaps a PT. Their main stream of income is training people at the gym. They give their time, their expertise, and they get some money. But they also have a YouTube channel where they share fitness content, right? Maybe to do with what they do at the gym or how they eat, whatever. But they may also have a clothing line, a fitness clothing line where they sell tracksuits or they sell yoga pants, whatever it is. And so you can see that there is a synergy between their multiple streams of income. And the beautiful thing about synergy is that there is a flow of skills, of energy, and of people between the streams of income. They're enriching each other effectively. And another great thing is that if you invest in one stream of income, that will often impact the others, whether that investment was time or money or an educational course, whatever it is, they'll often end up having a knock-on effect. This synergy may be obvious to you at the start, or it may come about the more you pursue these streams of income, the more involved you get, the deeper that you go into whatever it is you're pursuing. The next really important thing to consider is how you're going to show your work. So many people are doing amazing things already, but we don't know they're doing them, right? And if you're trying to build income streams around what you love doing or whatever it is you're really talented at or what you have to offer, if nobody knows it's out there, nobody can interact with it, they can't buy it if they want to, they can't consume it, they can't share it, they can't do anything because they don't know it exists. And it's interesting because I'm reading this book, Show Your Work, at the moment, and it's explaining the real importance of getting yourself out there, sharing yourself with the world. That doesn't mean you have to share everything, but of course as it relates to what you're trying to build, that can be a really useful thing to do. Now, unsurprisingly, social media will often form a big part of this showing of your work, but there's different forms of social media, so don't feel like you have to only stick to one, right? There's short form content, things like Reels or TikToks, but if you like to sit down like me or talk more, there's YouTube videos. Of course, if you like to write long articles, there's blogs. So consider what's best for you and for what you're trying to share and offer people. My final point, and it kind of links to showing your work, is consider how you're going to document the process and journey of pursuing your multiple streams of income or one of those streams of income. This can be a really valuable thing to do for you, for starters, because it allows you to see your growth, right? Where you may have made mistakes, you may have documented your lessons, what you learned, what you want to change moving forward. But a lot of people like to see the process, right, of getting to an end product. I know I, for one, love to see people's journeys on YouTube or on Instagram or blogs. Whatever their product there is, I like to see how they got there, right? And I feel involved, and I think that's a community feel that a lot of us get when we see the process and the journey. So it can be a really good way to connect with the people who you hope will enjoy your content or will enjoy what you have to offer and sell. But also it can in itself become a stream of income. One really interesting thing I've seen done is artists who sell their work on Instagram, in different places, but I've seen them on Instagram, also share the process of making that art piece, painting, on YouTube. And they're able to connect with their community through there. And people are able to see the process of this art being made. So not only they're making money off the final product, but they can potentially also be making money from sharing your work. And also, obviously, the two tie together. If you see someone's work and you think it's beautiful or really helpful, you may want to then pursue the end product, right? And so this is how, again, the synergy between things and considering how everything can come together quite well with multiple streams of income. I think the more disjointed they are, the harder it can become to manage. That doesn't mean it's impossible, and of course a level of diversification is super important, but what you diversify it could be the platforms, it could be the type of content, the medium. Isn't it self-diversification? Doesn't mean everything has to be everywhere all the time. So that's it. Those are the things to consider before diving into multiple streams of income. Just things that you can actually note down. Get a book, get a piece of paper or your laptop, and just note these things down to help better prepare you for the streams of income that you want to pursue, or help establish some ideas in your head. I've said it before, but this was one of the best things I did last year, and so I really hope that as many people as possible who want to pursue this do so. I will see you in the next video.